Hi, my name is Alban VILLANI. I don't know if this mic is working, right? Okay, good. I'm from Forever Young Creative and Forever Young Studio, and I'm going to discuss today about social serious gaming. And in fact, I'm going to enter into details about gamification more than serious gaming as a marketing strategy boost. So why listening to us? Us referring to three companies, so Forever Young Studio, Forever Young Creative, and a company based in France called Succubus Interactive. Forever Young Studio is dedicated to games and to gamification based in Singapore since 2011 with clients like Nespresso, Microsoft, Ubisoft, the MDA as a partner, and other companies based in France. We started as an advertising agency originally, so we come from the advertising space with Forever Young Creative. And we have worked especially with luxury brands. In France, we partner with, it's really a technological partner called Succubus, and they do serious gaming, and they have their own proprietary engine in order to create your own serious game. So just a quick slide about our latest release. So as I said, we are really a game studio as well. So we do a mobile game, and we released a game called Wakan.com that is available on Wakan.com. You can check it out. It's really inspired by Japanese and Korean types of games. So what I call gamification 2.0 is really social gamification. Nowadays, we spend a lot of our time on games, social games like Angry Birds, which is really social when you think about it, Draw Something or Farmville. And this is clearly what any marketer or any brand would love to, the attention that they would love to receive. Gamification, the term may seem quite new, but it has been in fact it has been around for a few years, and especially in the e-commerce and the training coaching spaces. And my presentation focused on social gamification, the tools that it uses, and applications. So just to make it clear, my definition, because it's always a bit different, but my definition of gamification, especially social gamification, is that you can use social game design and mechanics in order to enhance the user experience, for example, on websites. Serious gaming is a bit different, according to me. For me, it's more related to pure gaming, in which you add some branded elements. Well, despite what has been said a bit earlier, I think that, well, based on some research, the business spending on gamification will increase in the next years from 242 million to 2.8 billion in 2016. So social gamification as a marketing solution. In France, we made a study, and 83% of French internet users think that advertising alters the navigation experience. So there is a need to change the way we communicate with the users. And social gamification can allow to target the users in order to bring customization, opt-in, collect, traffic generation, user experience, buzz, of course. I think that is that's one of the main elements right now, because we are still in an educating process. Of course, user retention. And when you look at the way clients implement gamification, most of the time it's based on user engagement, 47% actually. And other factors can be fusion of KPIs and brand image and community building. Does gamification bring results? Again, this is a French market study, but it's interesting because 73% of gamers validate opt-in. 80% of gamers of Facebook app become fans of these apps, of course. And it multiplies by 3 the user retention. Something important as well, for one particular campaign, it can multiply by 2 the numbers of pages visited, by 2.5 the number of monthly visits, and the most important factor, plus 47% of total products sold. So yes, it brings some results. Metrics, I think I have some issue there. Okay, metrics, it's a bit small, I don't know why, but the engagement, okay, yeah. There are two kind of metrics that you can use. The big one, the big triangle that you see on the right, these metrics are for serious gaming, clearly. This is, for example, if you go for a social serious game, you're going to use it on mobile or you're going to use it on Facebook, and you're going to check the acquisition, the retention, and the monetization. Your metrics are monthly active users. For the retention, it's daily active users. And for monetization, it's paying users. I'm not going to enter into details for that. I can answer questions about this, but I assume that you know a bit about this. The small part on the left is more about gamification. So these are the metrics that you can use, especially if you have a website or if you have a brand online. It's really about engagement with page views, unique visits, and time spent on site. It's about loyalty. With repeated visits, refer to friend tools, virality, sharing and social communications, as well as monetization with conversion rates, virtual goods, and it could be registration as well. So just to go a bit more into details about the kind of applications that do exist out there, I selected two aspects because it could be for education, it could be for healthcare, but I selected e-commerce and luxury brands because we see we have worked with brands like that for a long time. And in terms of pure e-commerce, we see that gamification can enhance the e-shopping experience. So what it means is that in the example of Sneak Peek, based in San Francisco, it's a startup really, but they are doing what many other sites are doing, which is social shopping around some kind of exclusive clothes and food. But they do it in a quite efficient way thanks to gamification. The main tools that they use are from Batchville and from Facebook Open Graph, and also from custom WordPress plugins that you can add to your website. These are action-based purchasing advantages. The daily deals, of course, this is always important, but you need nowadays to find tricks to enhance that experience of daily deals. Time-limited badges that they call peaks for more rewards. Consumer actions or behaviors that can get pushed into the Facebook news feeds. So they got some results. They got an increase by 18% month on month, and also they saw a 3,000% surge in buy clicks. So this is something that marketers and sales representatives for websites are looking for. Another good example is something that is more recent called the Sender Trend. They have launched a campaign on their site which is called My Style. My Style is really like a profile page. So the idea is simple, but thanks to gamification they made it quite efficient. So this profile page, you can upload pictures, you can choose words that that represent your style, basically. And you can also select pieces from the website itself. And then what drove people there, because sometimes you need a catch, it was the chance to win a $500 reward. So they got 200,000 fans just because of that. Some worth a look campaigns, I invite you to check them on websites, or maybe Natalie from Hummingbird is going to detail some of them, I don't know yet. But the Range Rover campaign, Being Henry is interesting because of interactive fiction. The Nissan campaign proposes green rewards, so you will see that word a lot more in the coming year. The Burberry Art of Trench is worth mentioning because although it's quite old, I mean, when I say old, is 1 year and a half, something like that, it's still very effective in terms of pure design, actually. Mini Cooper offered an application called Facebook Mini Maps. Sorry, I invite you to check that out because for each user online they got 35 minutes of play time on this application only. So this is like a real game when you think about it. Talking about real game, this is a serious game. This is called Melvita. This is called Onifarm, and it's from Melvita. So they basically built a very small kind of Farmville-like game for Melvita, and extremely successful as well. Scanbucks, offering treasure hunts. Clean Currents, offering check-in promotions. So these are much more classic gamification, but it still works. Is it possible to have gamification for luxury brands? That's usually a question I receive from some of my clients, because games and luxury, well, the words don't match at all. But when you actually think about gamification, there are some ways to implement just the gaming techniques. So for the users, it doesn't mean that it doesn't alter the experience. And that's actually the contrary. So some advices that I would see from the industry and from myself is that it must always respect the luxury brand DNA. That's extremely important. The users are never after free content or products on a luxury brand site. It doesn't happen. The user wants exclusive status and privileged access to the brand, and that's it. You can create ambassadors rather than consumers only. And since the customer behavior is key, you can try other options like social CRM, for example, social surveys. So some examples. The first one is quite famous, Guild. They have this invitation-only private section that is called Guild Noir. I don't know if some of you are on it. I would. It's actually pretty efficient. It gives privileged buyers a head start to the sales on the usual guild. So again, it's not free stuff, but it's more time to spend more. And of course, it's kind of a reward by itself because you are you have a privileged access. Asia Vino is something that we developed here in Singapore. And it's a gamified platform selling premium wines and champagnes. And the objective of gamification on this website is to select users who can then become part of same thing, privileged access, a VVIP section where they can have access to Grand Cru and Cru Classé. So typical French wine. But again, this is luxury, and we can still find ways to attract the users. So this is pure gamification, and it's in line with the website's objective. Some other luxury premium examples. We have Jimmy Choo. I'm not sure I pronounced it correctly, but Jimmy Choo launched again, this is classic gamification, a Foursquare campaign called Catch a Choo. It's really like a treasure hunt around London, and it's based on check-in. And since they were promoting sneakers, it made sense because they had a simple concept, yet effective and in line with the product. Marc Jacobs launched the game Bang Your Hit. The concept is a bit more sophisticated. Because you have basically a profile, and you can upload photos of yourself in order to see them changed according to the look and the design of the perfume bottle. So this campaign had real social elements, and it was in line with the product. Again, extremely successful. So these examples show that it's completely feasible for a luxury brand to find a way to be more competitive online thanks to gamification. So what would be the next steps? I'm going to be quite quick. The next step in terms of implementation of that kind of gamification campaigns, a few requirements. The first one is that your product have to have some value originally. That's important. And then once you understand it, and once you know that some of your users understand this value, you can have experts build gamification around this value. The second requirement is that you must yourself decide if you want a serious game, or if you what I call it a branded game sometimes as well, or a gamification, meaning you don't want to touch too much your website, you just want to add some techniques on it. And you can also go for light reward program or very complex gamification. This is a matter of budget and a matter of brand identity. The third requirement, gamification has a cost because it requires techniques and expertise, and you must be prepared for that. It can start from very low, like 4,000 Sing, if it's basic techniques pushed on the website. But you can go with a serious gaming. You can be prepared to see games that cost up to 250,000 Sing. This is because it's not that easy to build an experience that is as compelling as Draw Something or Farmville, for example. The fourth requirement, Farmville again. It's more than a game. It involves community management, stats and tracking, multiple iterations, so it's just like a game production, and regular updates. And so we need time for that. It could be campaigns lasting from 3 to actually a year. The fifth requirement, you must accept value, and sometimes it's hard from a marketer point of view. You must accept the value of a gamification marketer who has a different mindset. They know how to bring fun and relieve stress. They know how to create compelling narratives, and they know how to generate conversion and monetize the gamified website. So just to clarify again, the difference between the old, a year ago, gamification and the new kind of gamification that you can obtain. Classic gamification is about rewards and achievements, badges, ranking and leaderboards, competition, mainly competition. I'm not saying that this is bad and you shouldn't go for that. It still works. The only thing is that there are other things now and that are worth studying, analyzing. It's social gamification per se. It's the customization for one, profile or avatar page that you can customize. The rewards, the new kind of rewards with real-time feedbacks. So it's rewards as you play, just like in Mafia Wars or Facebook type of games. The new type of badges, which can be branded collectibles. You can see branded collectibles having NFC components and AR components or QR codes components. This is another way to make some buzz. Choice. Use as many social networks as possible. Facebook is actually not the main revenue stream for many brands, especially in the luxury business. Think Pinterest. Pinterest is most of the time, especially if you are in the clothing industry, go for Pinterest instead of Facebook at first, and then evolve to other networks. International localization, because you cannot access the markets the same way. It's not only a matter of language, it's a matter of design. Technology again, NFC-enabled products, augmented reality, geolock. I think you can find many partners here for that. Design, you want to create a brand, gaming identity, and story. Same thing, you want an identity, so your narrative needs to be in line with the philosophy of your brand. And you can have real-world gamification. Game Maki here in Singapore is a good example. They do that a lot. And finally, you have crowdsourcing, but this, for brands, can be quite tricky sometimes.